So I'm going to take this piston right here out of our V6 Mustang project, and I am going to bring this thing back to an OEM style finish. And the way that I'm going to do that is through hydro blasting and vapor blasting. These two processes complement each other nicely, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how this thing will look when we're finished. Let's find out. All right, so to begin, I'm going to be using the VH2000 Hydro Blast. This is a brand new machine, so I feel kind of bad about oiling this thing up, but it's what it's made for. So to explain what a Hydro Blast is, this is a high pressure parts washer. If you guys are familiar with a standard parts washer, where you just have the brush and the slow moving water that's coming over it, this thing's going to blow your mind. Again, we're blasting around 1200 PSI. This thing is heated. It gets up to around 120 degrees Fahrenheit, but you can absolutely wipe away grease and grime. If you guys are a mechanic, this thing is an amazing time saver. I know from doing personal projects, doing dirt bikes and whatnot, being able to grab a part, pull it off, throw it in this thing, quickly wipe it away, and get it back to a point where you can actually work on it is invaluable. So again, this thing really packs the punch. We're gonna show you what it can actually do to this piston. Now, one thing I do wanna mention before we get started, this does not have any sort of aggregate in it, so this part is still going to look kind of grungy, but what the Hydro Blast is mainly used for is removing everything off of the surface. So for instance, this carbon buildup will actually be there when we're finished. So let's take a look. All right, pretty much what I expected from the Hydro Blast. Again, it's kind of hard to showcase what this thing's actually capable of on camera, but any of that oil that was underneath is completely gone. Again, the Hydro Blast cannot treat past the surface level, and it also can't remove stuff that's stuck on a part very well. For instance, this carbon buildup on the top. But as far as actually degreasing, this thing is phenomenal. I mean, you literally just put it in there and wipe it away. All right, so I'm actually gonna be using the VH800 FL. This is a great cabinet. A lot of people choose it if you're working in something like a mechanic shop because of the price point, but also the features that this thing packs. So you've got the precision regulator, you've got the wiper, you've got the automatic overflow valve, which makes it perfect for working with multiple people. But actually, the reason I chose this machine today is because we have glass bead on the inside. Now, glass bead is a circular abrasive. It's very good for polishing parts up because it leaves you with a nice polished finish. And the reason that is with aluminum, there's actually fibers on the part, if you think about it like that. And because it's a circular abrasive and because the water is actually cushioning it as it's hitting the surface, you're actually rolling those fibers. And that's what leaves you with a very uniform, very bright finish. So let's see what this thing actually does. Work. I don't know if you guys can see that, but in a matter of seconds, we've already completely removed all the oil staining that was on there. It's pretty incredible what you can do. And remember, glass bead is not an aggressive media at all. So it's not really made to remove things, it's just made to polish. So if this had paint or anything like that on it, which I know a piston wouldn't, but I'm just giving an example. If it had paint on it or something like that, glass bead would not be the optimal choice. But if you are trying to polish a part, you absolutely cannot beat glass bead. Guys, these machines truly never cease to amaze me. I think it's partially because this is a non-aggressive process. So again, you're not removing any of the surface material. You don't have to worry about damaging any of your sealing surfaces. So again, like if you're a CNC machinist and you're wanting to improve the finish afterwards but not degrade the part any, this is a great option. But again, I think what amazes me the most is with this being a non-aggressive process, it's still so fast. I mean, it genuinely took me probably 5 minutes to do this entire part. You guys can see the stark comparison between the two here. The amount of oil that I'm removing off while we're blasting, it's crazy. One thing I do want to mention is hydro blasting is not an essential portion of wet blasting. So if you wanted to throw this part directly into a vapor honing machine, it can absolutely handle it. It's not like sandblasting where you have to remove all of the oil beforehand. Because you're adding water in with the blasting process, you don't have to worry about that because it actually dilutes it, and you can put oil absorption pads in and it's not a worry. But again, it's truly incredible the amount of value you can add back to a part. You probably wouldn't be blasting pistons unless they're antique and you need to reuse them, but it's still crazy to me just how well this process brings parts back. If you wanted to guarantee that you do not leave any media on a part, that's a question we get a lot of the time. You can always hydro blast afterwards. You can also put this into an ultrasonic tank, or you can alternatively put it into a dip tank. All a dip tank is just a bucket of water that you're moving this part around in, allowing that abrasive to flow out of it freely. Again, rinsing and drying, it also works too. Just make sure if you do it to the point where you think it's clean, rinse and dry it again. But again, guys, if you have any questions, you can always check out our website, vaporhoningtechnologies.com. Check out the rest of the videos we have on this channel. We post educational content every single day, not only on vapor blasting, but on parts washing, sandblasting, shot blasting, soda blasting, literally everything that is involved with surface finishing and surface cleaning. We want to provide that information for you guys. If you have any questions, again, you can also leave them in the comments below. We love interacting with you guys. You can also put video ideas down there. But again, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this restoration. Hope you all like this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace. To the moon!